Hi, April here. Today's video is recipes that you can make ahead of time to make easy vegan lunches. The first recipe I'm sharing with you is for vegan meatballs, or we like to call them bean balls. You'll need 1 can of pinto beans, and you're going to put them in a food processor, and if you don't have one, then you can use a potato masher or a fork. Mash or process until they're crumbly looking. Add 2 tablespoons of vegetable broth, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste or ketchup, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of dried parsley, half a teaspoon of dried oregano, and a 1/4 to a half a teaspoon of salt. A 1/4 cup of vital wheat gluten. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to, but it does add a really nice texture to the cooked bean ball. But if you do take it out, then you're going to have to remove 1 of the tablespoons of vegetable broth. And then a 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs, and mix that all up. Line a large baking sheet with parchment paper, and you're going to use a teaspoon size measuring spoon, or you can just eyeball it, but I like to make them teaspoon size balls so they fit really good in lunch boxes. You put them in a 400-degree oven for 10 minutes and then flip them and bake them another 10 minutes. And this is what they look like when they're done. They are like firm, and then when you put sauce on them, they'll soften up. You can store them in an airtight container for 5 to 7 days, or you can also freeze them. I like to have them with dinner and then have some leftovers for lunches. The next recipe is chickpea salad. You'll need 1 can of chickpeas, dried and rinsed. And then I also like to pinch the skins off to have a more smooth texture, but you don't have to do this step. Then you're going to put them in a food processor. I know I use mine a lot. I know some people don't have one, so you can definitely just use a fork until they're mashed up like this. Then you're going to add a 1/2 cup of vegan mayo. This is my favorite brand, and it's pretty affordable. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a dash of pepper, a tablespoon of lemon juice. Give everything a good mix. And then you can add 1 to 2 stalks of celery. You can also add green grapes if you'd like, or shredded carrot. Those are my favorites to add in chickpea salad. This will keep fresh in the fridge 3 to 5 days in an airtight container. Up next is berry bliss balls. This is the first time I've ever made them. You'll need 1 cup of oats, a 1/2 cup of coconut flour, a 1/2 cup of sunflower seeds, unsalted, 2 tablespoons of unrefined, actually it doesn't really matter, unrefined or refined coconut oil, and 1 cup of frozen berries, and I'm using blueberries, and then some shredded coconut, about a 1/2 cup of that. And you just mix it up, and you will need a food processor for this. And it turns out to be a really pretty color. I found that the mixture was super crumbly and hard to form into balls, but it ended up working. It just took some time, and it was very messy. And as for a treat or for breakfast, I made cocoa banana bread muffins. In a medium or large mixing bowl, you'll add 1 banana and mash it up. Add a 1/4 cup of sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons of melted coconut oil, and the same measurements, 2 teaspoons and 2 tablespoons of non-dairy milk, and give that a good mix. Add 2/3 cup of all-purpose unbleached flour, a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch or arrowroot powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and give that a good mix. You want to mix it until it's all just combined. You don't want to overmix the dough because then you'll have a tough, dense muffin. Grease a mini muffin pan, and you're going to fill it up with your batter. Now, you're not going to fill up all 24 mini muffins. I like to make small batches of banana bread because I feel like it goes bad pretty fast. So just fill up what you got. It should make 16 mini muffins. These are going to go in the oven at 350 degrees, and you're going to bake them for about 14 minutes. And when they come out, this is what they look like. I also made some plain mini muffins or mini cupcakes for my kids, especially my picky eater. So with all those recipes made ahead of time and on Sundays and Mondays, I like to make everything in 2 days because 1 day is pretty much impossible. But you can make all these different lunches with the same ingredients, so it saves you time and money, but keeps the lunches different every day. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed all these recipes and lunch ideas. Please subscribe for more easy recipes that you can pack in lunches.